En esta ocasión está con nosotros el director del Departamento de Ciberseguridad del Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores de Israel, Ido Moed, y el administrador general de la Autoridad de Innovación Gubernamental, Luis Oliva, quienes nos comparten su visión sobre el futuro de la ciberseguridad. The exchange of experiences between countries is acute to world security. We have with us Ido Moed, Director of Cybersecurity Department of Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Luis Oliva, General Administrator in Panama National Authority of Innovation for Government.
Hi.
Hello. So we are going to talk a little bit about digital transformation, I think, from a perspective, from Israeli and Panama's perspective. And perhaps if I may, Mr. Oliva, ask you a question relating the way you see in Panama how new threats evolve, and how does that evolve in an environment where we are now in a new crisis, the COVID-19 crisis. How do you see this coming together of these new threats within this environment happen in Panama? What are you doing about that?
Okay, I think that the COVID improved our digital transformation because it's a must in our country to try to make some tramites here in Panama. Talking about digital transformation, I think that the development and implementation of systems that seek to improve the quality of life of our citizens also being carried out through the application of new technological systems to allow agility of government processes such as Panama Digital.gov.pa, in which we have incorporated at least 100 procedures in the last 12 months, including the COVID-19 pandemic period. Also, we have developed the digitization of procedures to improve tax collection systems, streamlines procedures at the Institute in Charge of Human Resource Improvement and other institutions. Also, we have built 8 institutions of the Panamanian government in payment gateway. Is one of our goals to put it in all of our entities. Now it includes 70-day procedures, and we have at least 6 institutions in process to integration that gateway our platform. Now from the AIG, we are leading the implementation of unique document management system, also called it's a government document manager. These tools have the streamlining of procedures at control. It improves the transparent, be the government more efficient for our citizens, and in which we have achieved successful implementation now in 4 institutions, and we are in the process of implementation on another 12 government institutions. Is in digital transformation is that here in Panama we are making in that period.
It's very interesting. I mean, it is a very challenging time, and we see also here in Israel that with the COVID-19 and the fact that people have to work away from their company, there are some vulnerabilities that arise and that have to be mitigated both on the level of the medical institutions, the research institutions, and as I mentioned, working from a distance. And so the National Cyber Directorate has put in place a few policies to mitigate that. And I think also at the same time try to reach out to other organizations around the world to share their experience and their knowledge, so that others also we can learn together actually how we mitigate cyber challenges in the area of the COVID-19. But talking about digital transformation, at the same time, we see here in Israel new solutions coming to the fore for the medical situation, using artificial intelligence, for example, in many ways, both for the medical tests as for potential solutions and vaccines. And that is amazing to see how different disciplines of science and technology come together and use engineering to come up with very practical solutions, be it for medical equipment, for respirators, or for equipment for the staff to protect medical staff, but also to mitigate the challenges on a national level. And I think that part of it, at least, has to do with the fact that we in Israel live in an environment that we describe as an ecosystem where the private sector, the government, and academia understand each other very well when we face a challenge. It has to do with our security environment for many years. So when there is a national threat, they all come together, and it's interesting and actually amazing to see what kind of new solutions emerge from that.
Yeah. Here in Panama, also we made a lot of application. I will talk to you about one of these one. It's called Rosa. That is a bot, a WhatsApp bot, to prove the call center's capability, trying to attend our citizens. That bot use artificial intelligence to detect who can have COVID-19. That bot make some questions to the people, and it prioritizes the citizens that have more possibilities to have the COVID-19, and it passed to the doctors to call to the person and try to call all the emergency systems like 911 or another kind of teams of emergency equipment. No? Also, during the COVID pandemic, Panama has become the first country to implement an economic aid system to affected people through its personal identity card. Through the personal identity document, citizens can use a benefit that the government is guaranteed to cover the basic needs such as food, medicine, and cleaning supplies. Citizens can approach the markets or make use of this benefit through their identity document, just as debit card or debit credit card is used. No? We have a problem here in Panama because at least the 50% of our population doesn't have a bank account, and it is a risk for our government because it's very difficult to give the aid for our citizens, and that technology that we implement allows to make the aid of the government is for use of the people that is affected of the pandemic. I think that is a good system that approach the whole of the technology of bank accounts, because we are putting in our citizens like a debit card, but I think that this is the future here in Panama. Later of the pandemic, I think that 100% of our citizens could be a bank account.
That's very interesting. I don't think that in Israel, when we are trying to reach all the citizens to distribute government support for the crisis, I'm not sure that we are still able to do that in one go. So it sounds like a very interesting idea to have this special ID card and a debit card that can be used in such a way that will also support the economy. I mean, much of the idea is that the money goes back to the economy. So that sounds like a very interesting idea. And actually also in terms of working and collaborating with Panama, I think that in terms of international cooperation, we've had some very interesting collaborations in the past, and specifically in technology. And I think that both our countries have a great future in working closer together. I mean, the colleagues here at the Israel Innovation Authority surely will be very happy to meet and discuss issues pertaining to technology, but also on other levels, both on a company, private sector level, as well as on a governmental level. And I'm not sure how much time we've left, but I think we can conclude, at least from both sides, that we're making very big strides and great developments to mitigate the threats that we are facing right now. And I'm confident that we continue to work together, we can do that even better in the future. So thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure. It's mine. I think that we can work together. I think that our team is making a MOU with Israel to improve our cyber security system.
Yes.
In our administration, we created the cyber security office because it's very important in the moment that we are making a lot of digitization and